Hi, I'm Jim Miller with Dry Steam Tech Support. Today we will be demonstrating the softener and dechlorinator head setup. Do not add salt to the brine tank or turn the water on until the softener setup is complete. Allow an hour and a half to program the softener and perform a regeneration. Let's set the date and time. Push next until the time of day screen is displayed. Press and hold the down button until set time is displayed and the hour flashes once. Press up or down until the correct hour is displayed, then press next. The minutes will flash. Press up or down until the correct minute is displayed. Press next to return to the user displays. Time of day should only need to be set after power outages lasting more than 8 hours, if the battery has been depleted, or when daylight savings time begins or ends. The time of day will flash on and off, which indicates the time of day should be reset. If a power outage lasts less than 8 hours and the time of day flashes on and off, the time of day should be reset and the battery replaced. We will start by setting up the softener. Press next and down simultaneously for 5 seconds and release. If this screen does not appear, the lock on the valve programming has been activated. To unlock, press in sequence down, next, up, regen, then press next and down simultaneously for 5 seconds and release. We should now see softening. Press next. Now we're choosing the brining direction. Use the up and down arrows. Always choose down. Press next to go to the next step. We're going to set the refill location. We're always going to use post. Use the up and down arrows to get to post. Then press next. We will now select the time for the first cycle using up and down arrows. It should say 8 minutes. Press next. We'll select the time for the second cycle using the up or down arrows. It should say 60 minutes. Press next. Select the time for the third cycle using the up and down arrows. It should say 8 minutes. Press next. Select the time for the fourth cycle using the up and down arrows. It should say 8 minutes. Press next. We're going to select the pounds for the fifth cycle using the up and down arrows. Refer to the chart in your water pretreatment manual. Locate your water softener. Find the corresponding salt used in regen in pounds. We suggest using the shaded 10 pound per cubic foot column, never entering a number less than 9.5 regardless of the chart designation. For demonstration, we are working with the WS 1665, so we're going to choose 35. Next, we're going to set the system capacity using the up and down arrows. The system capacity setting should be based on the volume of resin and pounds of salt. We refer to that chart again. It's 101,500. There is no 101,500, so we'll round up to 102 times 1,000. Press next to the next step. Here we're going to use set volume capacity. Always choose auto. Press next. Here we're going to set the regeneration trigger using the up and down arrows. If you choose 7-day, you can pick a day during the week to regen, but you can't change the number of days to regen. If you pick 28 days, you can change it later in the setup. Here, we're going to choose 28 days. Just a note, if you know your iron or manganese is 1 part per million or greater, choose 3 to 4 days to regen. The high content of these minerals will adhere to the beads in the softener and not allow them to work. Press next. We're going to set the regeneration time option using the up and down arrows. Always choose normal. Then press next until you enter the softener setup. To enter installer display, press next and up arrow simultaneously for 5 seconds and release. Here we're going to set the hardness. Hopefully you know what the hardness level is of the water you're working with. It's very important. If you don't, then we're just going to guess. So using your up and down arrows, choose the hardness of your water. In our example, we're going to choose 8. Then press next. Now we're going to set the date override. When volume capacity is set to auto or to a volume, it sets the maximum number of days between regenerations. Set this to 14 days unless your iron or manganese is 1 part per million or greater. Then use 3 to 5 days. If this is a model 2472, use 3 to 5 days. Then press next to go to the next step. Here we're going to set our regeneration time. What time of day is it going to regenerate? Set the hour of day for regeneration using the up or down arrows. The default time is 2 a.m. Press next to exit. We will now set up the Dechlorinator. Press and hold the down arrow until set time is displayed and the hour flashes once. Press the up or down arrow until the correct hour is displayed, then press next. The minutes will flash. Press the up or down arrow until the correct minute is displayed. Press next to the user displays. Moving forward in the Dechlorinator setup, we're going to press next and down simultaneously for 5 seconds and release. Choose filtering backwash. Use the up or down arrows if it's not already on that screen to get to that screen. Then press next. Select the time for the first cycle using your up or down arrows. It should read 8 minutes. Then press next. Select the second cycle time using the up or down arrows. It should say 4. Then press next. We will now set the regeneration trigger using the up or down arrows. If there is a value displayed, use the down arrow to get to almost 0 and it will say off. Press next. We will continue setting the regeneration trigger using the up or down arrows. Choose 28 days, then press next. Press next to exit the Dechlorinator setup. To enter installer display, press next and the up arrow simultaneously for about 5 seconds. You can now set the number of days to regenerate. We want to regenerate about every 4 days with the Dechlorinator, regardless of size. Continue to press next to exit the Dechlorinator. The Dechlorinator is now set up. Before shutting down the house water, it is suggested to pre-fill the brine tank with enough water, about 5 gallons, to get it above the grid level. This is not required, but will speed up the startup procedure. Now shut down the house water and terminate all plumbing connections. After making all the plumbing connections, make sure that the system is in bypass position. Turn on the main water supply. Open a cold, soft water tap nearby and let it run for a few minutes to purge any air pockets or until the house plumbing is free from foreign material, usually solder, that may have resulted from the installation. Once clean, close the water tap. We will now move the Dechlorinator into the backwash position. Make sure your Dechlorinator is connected to an appropriate drain. Press and hold the regen button for 3 seconds. This will initiate a regeneration. Slowly turn the inlet handle of the bypass into the service position and let water flow into the mineral tank. Ensure the drain line flow remains steady for 10 minutes or until the water runs free and clear of all large air pockets. Push regen to get through each cycle until we're back to the main screen. Then let's move on to the softener. Press and hold the regen button for 3 seconds to initiate a regeneration. Slowly turn the inlet handle of the bypass into the service position and let water flow into the mineral tank. Ensure the drain line flow remains steady for 10 minutes or until water runs free and clear of all large air pockets. Now position the softener valve to the brine draw, slow rinse position by pressing the regen button again. Ensure the unit is drawing water from the brine tank. You should see the level drop. It's okay to step past the secondary backwash if needed by pressing regen. Position the valve to the rapid rinse position by pressing the regen button again. Check the drain line flow and run until the water runs clear. Press the regen button again to position the valve to the brine tank fill cycle. This is the last cycle. Ensure that the water flows into the brine tank at the rate of about a ½ gallon per minute. Refill the water until 1 inch above the top grid. Cycle the valve back to the in-service position and open the outlet bypass handle so water is flowing downstream. Fill the brine tank approximately 2/3 of the way full with softener salt crystals. The Dechlorinator and softener are ready for use.